Is that Brandon? Yes, it is. Hey guys, and welcome to my new YouTube video. So in this video, I'm going to be reacting to some more tweets that I've saved over the last few months. And without further ado, let's get straight on with the video. So the first one is actually from one of my YouTube and in real life friends, Rianne. Love you, Rianne. She tweeted, does anyone else feel like they have to spend their Christmas Eve rushing around making sure they have all the decorations and food and have to clean their whole room from top to bottom every year because the rest of your family comes to your house because you guys host the best Christmas? I think for me, I don't really relate to that in terms of the fact that last Christmas I pretty much stayed in Nottingham with a couple of my friends and we had like a quiet one. My family did come up and I did have a couple of friends visit, but for me it was a quiet one anyway, so there wasn't really much time for bringing everybody over. But I remember like Christmases that I used to have at home or Christmases that I used to have at my nan's, which ended up becoming my home anyway. I did have to sort of clean my room, but it wasn't necessarily a thing of clean your room because we've got thousands of family members or thousands of friends coming over. It was just clean your room just so it's clean, basically. The next one is actually from one of my YouTube friends, Donnie. Anyone have the urge to delete all of their content off of their channel for a fresh new year? Now obviously he tweeted this at the end of 2018 and I'm only picking up on it now, but I think I had that phase, not at the end of 2018, but I had it a couple of years before that. Just gonna wait for the shit to go past. Always fucking does. Just fuck off. That tweet was basically from one of my YouTube friends, and I think I've been in that situation as well. I think for me, there was just a couple of years where I was actually, you know what, all the content that I'm producing is great, and I did enjoy what I was creating, but I always thought I could do better. So instead of just leaving it, making new stuff and carrying on from where I left off, I just literally deleted everything and rebranded myself all over again. So that is what I did. And I feel like that's why I'm trying to pre-film a lot of my content now, because I know that at this current moment in time, I'm stressed, but I'm not too stressed. Whereas if I was to start filming from like later on in the year, then yeah, I would be rushing and I would be just trying to get content out just because at least now I've got a purpose to read through all of my saved tweets. And actually, that's quite an interesting thing for some people to do as well. So that's why I thought I would do it over a couple of weeks. I see a lot of people tweeting about their queens or calling each other queens. Listen, I'll have you know that I am the only queen, and if you disagree, that is a mutiny and you should be thrown in the brig. I think this is mainly for the LGBTQ+ community, that a lot of people call each other queens. I think it's stimulated from RuPaul's Drag Race, that there's like different languages in English. So you've got like the chavvy sort of language, you've got like Essex language, North London, South London, Northerners, Southerners. There's always different dialects in different areas, but I think queen is just something that a lot of people know. Most people don't tend to use, but if you are in the LGBTQ+ community, you're likely to have at least heard of it. So yeah, quite a funny tweet there, and I think that's one of the reasons that I saved it. Microsoft Word is the most sensitive thing ever. You move something half an inch and all the pictures move, 3 new pages inserted, fire alarm goes off, thunder and lightning, volcano erupts, stock market collapses. Again, obviously very, very dramatic. That's not going to happen if you move something on Microsoft Word, but it's basically saying that, look, Microsoft Word is this app where you can type, you can make boxes, you can do whatever you want, but I think as soon as you insert some form of picture or some form of text box, everything just moves. Very, very funny, and that is why I actually don't use Microsoft Word anymore. That is why I use online documents. So you've got Google Docs, Google Sheets, and Google Slides, so you have to obviously have a Google account, but using those online programs is so much easier because you can put things exactly where you want them to be and make things bigger, make things smaller, and you can access it from wherever you want. I think if people have Microsoft Word and PowerPoint, you have to use it on laptops and computers that also have Microsoft programs. And I think at university there are some computers and some laptops that run Microsoft Office, and there are some that just don't. So yeah, you have to sort of like finger cross. But I think with Google Docs you can upload it and access it online, so there's no need to finger cross. When I was 6, I named my Animal Crossings character Sex, and I couldn't change it back, so I panicked. Went outside the next day and smashed the game with a hammer. I have lived with this my whole life. Now I think that's quite a funny thing, that a lot of people, when they make usernames for things, whether it's Snapchat or some form of social media or some form of game, they sometimes, and I know a lot of younger people, they just put stupid names, but it's one of those things that if you can't change the name, you're just stuck with this embarrassing username, and everyone's like, oh, so what's your name on? Oh yeah, Bubblegum23, or I don't know, Stick It in My Nose 12, and it's just like, you are now stuck with that name. So I think a lot of people can relate to this, especially from my generation, because growing up, I feel like a lot of people in my generation were the ones to have weird names and silly names on games. So yeah, definitely a relatable one there, and I think that's probably one of the reasons that I saved that one. This one is a tweet from Danae. Sometimes things you do go unnoticed, but that doesn't mean you have to stop doing it. You don't have to always get a compliment or a pat on the back to know you're doing something right. Shine on because you are appreciated whether you know it or not. And again, I think this one is one of those relatable tweets, because I think for me, growing older, you don't really expect like I said, you don't usually expect to have a pat on the back or to have a round of applause for everything that you do. But I think for me, it's just that form of acknowledgement. If someone just sort of sees you do something that's good, or that you're working on so many different things at once, and someone just says, actually, yeah, that was really, really good, I appreciate that, or I'm really, really happy with what you did, I think that's just nice enough. Just knowing that someone's appreciated what you've done. But then at the same time, it's like, you don't need someone to say that after every single thing that you've done, because firstly, I think that'd get annoying, because I know what I would be doing is good, otherwise I wouldn't have done it and I wouldn't have been promoting it. But then at the same time, it's like, I wouldn't want that person to tell me that I've done it well after every single time. Another one here from Alice. So does anyone feel thirsty when they're in bed and they don't have water next to them, but when they do, they don't drink it? Is it just me? Lol. I can relate to this. I feel like there are so many times where I'm in bed and I've like finished for the day and I'm ready to go to sleep and I'm really, really thirsty, but there's no water, so I'm just sort of sitting there like, well, this is the decision I make. Do I get up and get some water, or do I just go to sleep? And most of the time it's just go to sleep, the water phase will fade away. But then sometimes I have my bottle of water next to me. I think I've got my bottle of water over there, and it is full up, but you just can't bother to reach it. So it's I don't know, you're being hypocritical of yourself without realising it's sort of, you don't have water, but then you do, but when you do, you don't drink it. So yeah, I can relate to Alice's tweet there. But again, that was from the beginning of January 2019, so basically a year and a bit ago. But I thought, as one of my tweets, I thought I'd have a look at that one. Holly H, so she is famous on like TikTok, and she basically creates content like every single day as part of her job, googling how you can trust people when they just cheat, lie and play you. Now this is an interesting thing, and one thing I've been taught and one thing that I've been learning quite recently is that you can't trust everyone, but also you can't trust Google. But I think in terms of this, it's like, you can't trust people that cheat, that lie and play you. I think it's that thing of, fool me once, it's your fault. Fool me twice, it's your own fault. Fool me 3 times, then they're gone. I'm not sure what the exact phrasing is, but it's along the lines of that. Yeah, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times, then you're just basically an idiot. So I think, I would say, give people 3 chances, and then that's basically it. But if someone cheats, a cheater is always a cheater. If you don't cheat in 6 relationships, but you cheat in 1, you're a cheater. If you tell the truth to everyone, but you lie to 2 people, you're a liar. And I can admit that I've not cheated, but I have lied to people. Most of the time it's to put myself in a better position, or most of the time it's just because I can't be bothered to deal with the situation. So the easiest way to just get away from it is to just lie. The next one, I'm not sure what this person's Twitter name is. It's Ishkasa. I'm not sure if that is even a real person's name. It might be Ishmael, I don't know. Dogs lick us because they know we have bones inside and they want them. Interesting, an interesting way to think about that. I think dogs just lick us because they like us as humans. I feel like a lot of the dogs that I've met, not like met as in, oh hi, nice to meet you dog, but like some of the dogs that I've come across, they are quite relaxed and they are quite, not normal, but they're like, you can tame them, you can stroke them, and they're not gonna like start barking or biting you or whatever. Thinking about this in a more real life context, that actually every single time you're stroking a dog, or every single time a dog starts licking you, they're not doing it out of niceness, they're doing it because they want your bones. Interesting way to think about that. I don't think it's that accurate, but I think I quoted that. No, sorry, I think I saved that because it was an interesting quote. We'll do a couple more and then I'll end this video and do another part. The Walking Enigma. I like my women how I like my men. That's it. That's the joke, I'm bisexual. I think that's the best coming out tweet that I've ever seen. I must have seen that at the beginning of January last year as well. And I feel like I should have done the same thing. I should have just said, I like my, I don't know, what don't I like? I should just put something like, I don't like my women like I don't like my that's it, that's the joke, I'm gay, because I don't like Marmite, don't like women. I do like women, but just not in a romantic way. But yeah, that was a really, really interesting one. Not really much to say about that, just quite funny. Jack here, if I accidentally super like one more time, my phone's going in the canal. I think this is on Tinder, because I think you can super like one person a day. And I think this is the thing that when you're on apps like Tinder, when you're on dating apps, it always reminds you that you can super like people, always reminds you that you can add people to your favourites. But then when you do it, there's only a limit of doing it. So for some reason, I might just be swiping randomly on one day, and it tells you, oh, don't forget you can super like. So you click that thinking that it's just the notification going to disappear, but actually you've just super liked that person and wasted your super like for that day. I think it is very, very annoying that the notifications pop up while you're on the app, but it is a good way to super like different people. I don't know, but that's a bit of a weird one. Yeah, I just think that's a bit of a weird one. The fact that firstly you can only super like one person every single day. I don't even go on Tinder every single day. And secondly, it tells you notifications without having like an X button. You just have to just hope that you've clicked off the notification without actually clicking super like. Very annoying, so I understand Jack there. Okay, we'll do two more. Maverick, how on earth do people eat the same breakfast every single day? I can relate to this one completely. I don't have the same breakfast every single day. I have combinations. Like I said in one of my previous videos, my cooking videos, well, it's not a cooking video, it's what I eat in a student day video. I pretty much have three main things for breakfast. It's mainly just bread, toast, and a variety of different fillings, cereal or porridge with whatever else goes with it. It's like milk with porridge and cereal with milk, and bread with like, not milk, but other alternatives. But I don't know, I'm the same in terms of everything. Like, I'm not just this person to eat the same breakfast or similar breakfast every day. I like to have similar meals as well. So I might have fish, chicken, obviously not at the same time, like fish and veg one day, chicken and veg another day, and then back to fish and veg another day. And although it is the same meal, firstly it's easy, secondly I'm budgeting well because I know what accumulates to what sort of price if I'm getting the same sort of things, and that actually, oh, I can actually allow myself an extra portion of chicken, I can actually get an extra portion of carrots, and I won't go over my budget sort of thing, rather than testing out new foods and new combinations every week where I'm just like, oh, I'm not sure if that adds up, oh, have I gone over budget? I don't really want to be thinking about that. So for me, people eating the same foods, whether it's breakfast, lunches and dinners, it is a good thing. And I'm one of those people that just doesn't get bored around food. And I think if there is a day that you're like, I don't really fancy that, just go to a Wetherspoons, go to a Nando's, treat yourself out somewhere. So that is what I would suggest. And last but not least, this final tweet for today is from Shen the Blad Fang. Surround yourself with people that don't give up on you. Now I thought that was a nice one to end up on. I didn't actually realise what quote was going to come up before I actually slid on my phone, slid to the right. But yeah, I think this is a really, really interesting one, that you don't necessarily have to be with someone like in the flesh all the time, but if there is someone that's constantly messaging you or constantly seeing how you are, or just every so often just dipping in and out of your life, just saying, oh, how's things, how's this, how's that, they're probably the best friends. And it's sort of those that if you've made mistakes and if you've done things that weren't necessarily bad, but that you know you could have done better, that these people are like, no, don't worry, I'll help you, I can help you improve, and I can do this for you, la la la. They're the sorts of people that you want. I think there's a difference between helping someone and doing something for someone. So I think I'm in that same situation as well. There are so many people that I really, really want to help, and that if they ask me to help them edit a video, of course I'm going to do it. I'll edit a bit and then just let them work it out for themselves. But I think the people like that would appreciate me being around them because I'm not giving up on them, I'm actually trying to help them. So I think surround yourself with people that don't give up on you. I surround myself with people that don't give up on me, and I also surround myself with people that I wouldn't want to give up on. So it's a mix of those two. But yeah, that is it for the tweets for this series, well, for this episode. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe, and there'll be another video coming very, very soon. So let me know down below what sort of videos would you like me to do, what videos would you like to see. And until then, I am going to be going. So until then, bye!